built into. Let's learn how to use another advanced editing function built into iMovie for the desktop. This new function is called the Precision Editor. The Precision Editor allows us to adjust the out point of one clip and the in point of another. So it allows us to adjust the in and out points between clips. This is different than the clip trimmer, which we learned how to use in another session that I did. With the clip trimmer, allows us to work on an individual piece of media, adjusting the in and out points and actually slipping the video within your in and out point window. With the Precision Editor, we work on two clips side by side. Put my playback head where I want to get started, and the Precision Editor is not located under Modified. It is under the Window menu down below where it says Precision Editor. So when I turn it on, similar to the clip trimmer, we have two tracks. The top track is the beginning of my project and my timeline, and the bottom track is the remaining part of my project and my timeline. So what can I do with this editor? Well, in the middle here, this little tool here is showing us our out point of our first clip to the in point of my second clip. And I can adjust my in point of my top clip if I want to. And the in point of my clip if I want to. So I have some fine-tuning controls. Give me a second to catch up here. I can also adjust both my in and out point at the same time. So I have a nice control over my in and out point. Also, if I go up above into my viewer area, I can scrub and see things that are not showing in my timeline. And now I can see the pieces of my timeline. I can actually move my clip back and forth. This is not a slip edit, this is called a roll edit. I'm rolling it back and forth to find that perfect location. And I can do it on my bottom clip. I can roll it back and forth. So very powerful features. Control my out point individually, my in point individually. I can control both my in and out point at the same time, and I can roll my video back and forth in either window. So let's look at something else we can do with this. So if I'm going to close up my Precision Editor, and I'm going to come over here to Transitions, and I'm going to take my Dissolve Transition and drop it in place here. And if I double click on it, I can change the duration. In this case, I'll just do the thing for 2 seconds. Now, to go back to my Precision Editor, I can use my keyboard command. I open it up, and you notice that my edit point here, these are all individual edits, is a little bigger. This allows me to control my transition by making it bigger and smaller. And you notice that we have two lines here. This is the area that's blending together in the two clips. And I get to adjust that, where it's going to be, how big it's going to be. Very powerful that I can go in and actually control my transition. I can't have this fine edit controls in iMovie for the iPhone or the iPad. When it goes to the iMovie for the desktop, these new controls are starting to happen. And when you learn Final Pro X, you'll even find finer tuning controls. So what else can I do with the Precision Editor? Well, I'm going to show you two advanced editing techniques that really add a little bit of pizzazz to your overall project. And this is what we call the J and L cut. Let's start with the J cut. What I want to be able to do here is to be able to have my audio of my bottom clip here play before the video clip shows. I'll repeat that. What I want to be able to do is have the audio of this clip start playing before the video shows. So how do I do that? I can move my in and out points, but the audio moves along. And if I go a little further down, you notice there is a division between these two. Now I can just expose only my audio, leaving the video blank. And I can do the same thing on top here. I can drag this back a bit if I want to, and so what'll happen is when I play it, we jump out of my clip here, editor, and when I play it, what's going to happen is the audio of this clip is going to play before this one. Let's go back to Precision Editor, open it up. So I have the audio. So this is why they call it a J cut. It looks like a J. And I'm going to close up the Precision Editor, and I'm just going to dump this transition, make it a little easier to see. Now, let's do an L cut. Keystroke, open it up. So I'm going to drag this back to my in point there, or excuse me, yeah, in point. And I'm going to take this and drag it all the way to the end. In fact, I'm going to move my clip. So here's my in points. It's a short piece here in the pan, but the audio of my top clip will play all the way through. And what I'm able to do here is lower my volume of the bottom clip. Hit my space bar, let it play through.
This is the dry sticky rice, the dry one. That one is already soaked in the water for like overnight, but this is the dry one. It's dry and thick. We will put it in a wok to roast it until it looks nice color, golden brown.
Okay, the top audio is still playing.
Blend it or smash it.
Now we make the change, but the top is still playing, and now we transition to the grinder. Get my space bar to stop. So this is called a L cut. So let's review the difference between a J and L cut. The J cut was the first one we did where the audio starts on the bottom clip, okay, our out point. Our audio starts playing before the video clip. On the L cut, it's just the opposite, where the video leaves, but the audio keeps on playing. It's a nice way of adding a special effect to your project in the timeline. Before I bounce out here, you notice these little editing clips here. You notice these editing points. If I click on it, I can go right to that point and use my Precision Editor. I do not have to jump out of my editor, and I can go to any clip I want and be able to take a look at my in and out points, make my adjustments, do an L and J cut if I want to. So the Precision Editor is a very powerful feature that allows us to fine-tune our edits between clips.